Well, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. A little chilly outside, so I'm dressed accordingly. Before you get mad at me for that clickbaity looking thumbnail that I created for this video, it's a satire. It's a satire on just how gullible and easy we are, and the stuff that we fall for that people put up on YouTube, especially those videos that talk about bodybuilding, exercise, health, and what may or may not even be possible for most of us, maybe 99% of us. I'm always amazed when I see these thumbnails that show the before and after of something that, we just have to know is impossible for us. It's not realistic. You couple that with the fact, how many of us, especially how many of my viewers, where the demographics say that you're definitely over 50 and most likely over 65, how many of us actually think that we, no matter what the hell we did, could actually achieve these bodybuilder muscular depictions of somebody clearly in their 20s, maximum in their 30s? How could we probably couldn't have achieved it even in our 20s and 30s, and definitely and absolutely at my age, it's impossible. But we see it everywhere. And even in our own community, the three biggest influencers that I think in the carnivore space happen to be, and I don't see anything wrong with this, but they happen to be supermen. Supermen. I'm talking about Sean Baker and Anthony Chafee, and in many respects, even Ken Berry. These are people that are in their 40s and mid-50s that, two of them at least, have been competition level athletes all their lives. We can never achieve that. Now, these three guys are also some of the smartest guys and have my utmost admiration, but that's beside the physical point. We all see Sean Baker lifting elephants and, like weights and things like that. But we can't be like him. Very few people can. We should listen to what he says, but we can't be like that. We all set goals for ourselves. I know I have, but those goals have to be realistic and they have to be achievable. Now me, if you take a look at this picture, is what I pretty much looked like most of my life. Dumpy, average, struggling to stay somewhere between 155 and 200 pounds. Not athletic in any way. Never ran. The most I ever did was walk. Never played sports. I always tried to achieve things that required, I think, more intellect and personality. but certainly and absolutely not any physical prowess. I resigned myself to that fact that it's just not in my makeup. It was never in my makeup. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been athletes in the past and you want to get back to where you were. But I think the majority of us are just average people who all our lives have pretty much bought into the conventional wisdom of how we're supposed to eat, what we're supposed to do, and we'll never be like that. We just want to be the best that we can be. And that's where I fell into this thing. And luckily, I think I discovered probably the only way that was possible for me with the health conditions that I had, with the weight problem and the addictions that I had. If it isn't evident by now, it's got to be evident to you that eating carnivores, changing my lifestyle, most importantly, made me want to be pain-free, made me want to have more energy, made me want to exercise. It actually made me want to exercise. Now, when I first started exercising, I got some pretty good results right away. And I got carried away with myself and thought that I had some potential to actually start to look like some of these guys. But after 6 months of exercising and achieving this, it started to take a little bit of toll on me because, after all, I'm almost 77 years old. My joints have a lifetime of wear. I have compressed discs in my back. I've had bad knees all my life. I've never stretched a lot. I can't touch my toes like everybody else can. And I've learned to live with that. I was very proud of what I had accomplished. But I finally made the decision that I think this kind of exercise and weightlifting was not going to do me any more good and could only do me harm. So I stopped going to the gym and I decided that I would be tickled to death if I could just maintain what I had built, not try to become any more muscular or bodybuilder looking, but just maintain. So I set about changing my whole philosophy of exercise. And that settled into what I did this morning. And what I want to show you, not my entire exercise routine, but a few minutes from it to let you know the kind of things that I'm doing. And I'll do a little voiceover on this clip and explain my philosophy to you of why I do what I do and how I do it. I basically built myself a little home gym. I've got two different pieces of equipment. I've got this thing called an orthopod that allows me to roll over, stretch, unload my spine. I'll twist sideways on it. It also lets me do inverted curls like this, which are good ab exercises. And back extensions. I've had this thing for 30, 40 years, I'd probably be a cripple if I hadn't had it. Really, really helps keep my lower back in shape. Then you just hang a little bit. Let the spinal fluids get in between the discs, and beats a chiropractor every time. I do this probably every other day at a minimum. I also bought this piece of exercise equipment. It cost $139 from Amazon. And one of the things that I've learned, I never realized before, is something they call a dead hang. And I got to tell you, this has been one of the most beneficial exercises for my shoulders that I've had. And I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and it has completely taken the pain away from the shoulder that I injured. They say you should hang a total of 5 minutes a day, but I'm not quite up to that yet. But first time I did it, I was able to hang about 5 seconds. The hardest part is the grip. But that's a terrific exercise. Then, one of my old standbys is push-ups. I do sets of 15, sets of 20. 2-3 sets is enough. Now, I don't rest between any of these things, which kind of adds to the intensity of this little workout. Now, this is another ab exercise where you lift your knees up, and this little exercise gizmo I have is perfect for this. Now, this is a little routine that takes a few minutes. I go through it. I rest for a few minutes. Then I go through the whole thing again. There are times when I'll add some other things into it. I found out in order to use this machine to its fullest capability, you need some bands, especially if you're getting older, especially if you're not one of these people that can actually do chin-ups or pull-ups on a bar, pull up your body weight. And I got to tell you, I thought it was easy, but the first time I tried it, unassisted, I did one. Now I'm using that band, and I got my knee under it, and it's probably taken maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds off my body weight. And I'm up to 3.5 to 4 that way. But I find that I am getting stronger, and my goal is to do at least 5 to 10 of these things unassisted by any of the bands. These bands have many ways. This particular one I'm kind of mimicking a push-up or a bench press, and I'm just going for, I think, 20 reps here. But you do start to feel a little burn, even though it's not the heaviest weight that you can do. But there are so many exercises, and I'm learning to add in shoulder exercises and other things with the bands. I also do squats for my legs, and by the time I'm done, I feel like it's a totally adequate workout. It takes 15, 20 minutes to go through it twice, and I think that'll help me maintain the level that I've achieved. I hope you got the point of that, and maybe can see why I made that decision to make that change. And so far, so good. It's working out great for me. I'm not hurting any of my joints anymore. My shoulder that I had injured when doing the heavier lifting has finally healed, and I'm totally pain-free again. I look forward every other day to doing a 10-15 minute routine, couple sets of everything you just saw. I do it almost non-stop so that I do get my heart rate up. I do get the benefit of some high-intensity training without resting in between, and works out great for me. And I thought you'd like to see exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I'll never look like Sean Baker or Anthony Chafee. I don't care. I'm almost 77 years old. Now, you'll excuse me while I beat my eggs. Thank you. I hope that this has been educational in some respects, kind of a how-to, or how I do it. May not be right for you. But I hope if you take away nothing else from this little video, it's the fact that don't expect miracles that are not achievable. Don't set your goals too high. We've all damaged ourselves over a lifetime. And as we get to this age, some of that damage, we have to figure how to live with it the best we can. That's important if we're going to be happy and content and proud of the fact that we've done things that most people not only never have done, but never will do. And that as far as life extension, living as long as we can, as healthy as we can, is achievable no matter how old you are or when you start. Be proud of the improvements that you do achieve, and don't punish yourself for those that you haven't. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.